Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into something that could reshape how we look at Web3, blockchain, and even artificial intelligence. We'll explore what might be the next big move in the space. But before that, I want to start with a fascinating idea that came directly from Dominic Williams, the founder of the Internet Computer. He recently shared a tweet that sparked a lot of conversations. In this post, he described what he calls a full-stack transformation, combining the Internet Computer, Motoko, and Caffeine AI. Now, at first glance, that might sound like just another mix of buzzwords, but when you really think about it, this combination could represent a massive leap in how we create and run software. So let's break this down step by step. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a professional before making any investment decisions. Dominic's vision is actually pretty simple in concept, even though the implications are huge. He believes we're heading toward a world where AI doesn't just help you write code, it writes it entirely for you, deploys it, and even runs it directly on the blockchain. Think about that for a second. No cloud providers, no middlemen, no third-party APIs controlled by centralized companies. Everything exists natively on a public blockchain network. That's not just a technical improvement, it's a paradigm shift. The Internet Computer, ICP, was already designed to make hosting applications on-chain possible. With Caffeine AI added to the mix, suddenly, you're not only removing friction, you're also lowering the barrier to entry for anyone who wants to build. Instead of needing a team of developers and months of work, you might only need a good idea and the ability to describe it in plain language. So why should we care about removing the cloud and going fully decentralized? Well, the cloud comes with baggage, censorship risks, vendor lock-in, high hosting costs, and reliance on corporations that can pull the plug at any time. When everything is decentralized and verifiable on-chain, you eliminate many of these problems. For example, no one can arbitrarily shut down your backend. There's no risk of a provider suddenly hiking prices or limiting what you can do. Censorship resistance becomes a built-in feature. In other words, when you take out the cloud layer, you remove friction, vulnerability, and dependency. That's the kind of foundation where real innovation can thrive. Now let's talk about Motoko, because it plays a critical role here. Motoko is not just another programming language. It was created specifically for ICP's actor model architecture. That means it's naturally structured in a way that AI systems can understand and work with effectively. Why does that matter? Because if AI is going to generate code, it shouldn't have to force-fit that code into rigid or outdated frameworks. With Motoko, the AI can basically plug in directly and run without the messy translation layer. That reduces complexity and errors, making it much easier to build real, usable applications, not just toy demos. And let's be honest, that's what we all want. The last thing anyone needs is yet another AI demo that looks flashy for 5 minutes but doesn't actually work in practice. With Caffeine AI and Motoko, we're talking about a setup where the AI could build services that people actually use and use at scale. Another key detail Dominic mentioned is that within about 20 days, the freemium model for Caffeine AI is going live. That means anyone will be able to access it. You'll have the option to pay a fee and unlock the full power of ICP's capabilities in your hands. This is big because accessibility is where adoption begins. When tools are locked behind paywalls or enterprise-only licenses, only a small group benefits. But when you launch something in a freemium model, you open the doors for hobbyists, solo builders, startups, and enterprises all at once. It's not just about showing that something works. It's about letting everyone test, build, and discover what's possible. Of course, no AI system is perfect. Mistakes will happen. The question is, what happens when they do? This is where ICP's design shines. The system is deterministic, meaning that even if AI makes an error, it won't cause catastrophic crashes or data corruption. Instead, you can replay, retry, and recover without breaking the chain. That's a huge deal because if you're relying on AI to handle your code end-to-end, you don't want a single mistake to take down the entire service. With ICP, errors are manageable, predictable, and recoverable. Reliability is built into the foundation. Now let's talk about security, which is absolutely critical. On traditional platforms, once you deploy code, attackers can sometimes sneak in malicious logic later. But with ICP, the code is tamper-proof and stored on-chain. That means you always know exactly what code is running, you know where it came from, and it's much harder for attackers to alter it after deployment. This kind of verifiable provenance is a massive advantage, especially when you're dealing with AI-generated code that you didn't personally write line by line. You want assurance that what's deployed is safe, and ICP provides that. One of the most exciting parts of this vision is the potential for radical improvements in speed and cost. When you collapse layers, no cloud providers, no separate deployment pipelines, no endless serialization, you cut out inefficiencies. Dominic has even suggested that this could lead to up to 1,000x faster performance and 1,000x cost reductions. And let's be real, cost reduction is the ultimate driver of adoption. If building and running a fully functional app on ICP is significantly cheaper than doing it on traditional platforms, then developers and businesses will naturally migrate. But this brings us to the big question: will we see massive adoption? In my view, it all comes down to pricing. If ICP and Caffeine AI can offer a competitive pricing model, say 50% cheaper than building on alternatives, then adoption isn't just likely, it's inevitable. Businesses follow incentives, and saving money while gaining reliability and security is a strong incentive. Now, whenever a project starts getting real traction, something always shows up: FUD. And ICP is no exception. Right now, on Twitter and other platforms, critics are calling ICP overhyped or questioning its tech. But let's be clear, this is nothing new. In fact, it often happens right before a project breaks out. Why? Because once you move from research to real products, you start threatening incumbents and established players. That's when the pushback begins. Competitors, skeptics, and even people who feel left out of the ecosystem will amplify doubts. But most of the time, this noise doesn't mean much. Bugs, scaling issues, and early hiccups are part of every product journey. The real question is whether the fundamentals remain strong, and for ICP, they do. What's refreshing about ICP is that they're not trying to play the hype game. They're not paying influencers to post tweets. They're not spamming sponsored content. Instead, they're quietly building something that real customers will actually care about. If Caffeine AI delivers on its promise, production-ready code from simple AI prompts, then the model shifts. You don't need hype. You just need builders and businesses who want to create. And once again, if the pricing is right, adoption will follow. Now let's zoom out. Imagine what happens when institutions, enterprises, regulators, even governments get involved. That's when you see long-term integrations, recurring use cases, and growth that doesn't depend on market hype cycles. We've seen other blockchains chase speculation, focusing on altcoin seasons and price pumps. But true sustainable growth comes when a platform is useful outside the crypto bubble. That's exactly what ICP is aiming for: utility-first adoption. So where does this all lead? Well, Dominic's tweet highlights something important. ICP might actually be the first Web3 platform to achieve mass adoption, not because of hype, but because people need what it offers. Think about it. Go from idea to live service in minutes. No need to be a professional developer. No need to worry about cloud costs or censorship. Just describe what you want and let AI build it. That's the kind of simplification that drives mainstream adoption. Another powerful aspect is composability. If services built on ICP can easily connect with each other through plugins, shared tools, or marketplaces, then you get exponential growth. Each new app strengthens the network as a whole. This is how ecosystems snowball, and once that momentum builds, it becomes incredibly difficult to stop. So, to wrap this all up, ICP, Motoko, and Caffeine AI together represent a bold new vision for Web3. The idea is to let AI not only write and deploy code, but run it entirely on-chain, removing middlemen, reducing costs, and improving reliability and security. Yes, there will be FUD. Yes, there will be bugs and growing pains, but the fundamentals are strong. If the pricing model is competitive, adoption is not just possible, it's almost guaranteed. And here's the final point I want to leave you with. This isn't about speculation. This is about utility. If ICP delivers on its promise, it could become the first blockchain to achieve true mass adoption by solving real problems for real people. So, what do you think about ICP's current position? Are you bullish on its growth in AI and DeFi? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay cautious, and I'll catch you in the next one.